DJ LeRoy.
Night Watchman, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yo, Night Watchman. I'm wondering. I'm thinking about temptations, ball of confusion. What's going on, man?
Well, we're going to talk about AI, and we're going to dispel some of the confusion. And we're going to talk about its impact on the Black community, but we're going to talk about its overall impact. And we have a great panel who are eminently qualified to give us a point of view that we all need to have right now.
And so Night Watchman, you're telling me though that when AI becomes aware that I'm still going to be okay?
No, I'm not telling you that.
All right, all right. Who we got?
First guest I'm going to bring out, returning back to Soul Lounge Primetime, Mr. Earl Thomason.
Wow, I think I know that guy. I think I know him.
Yes.
What's happening, fellas?
Right.
Full disclosure, that young man used to work for that slightly older young man.
I like it. Like Night Watchman. Well said. Well said. Good seeing you, Earl.
Right.
Good seeing you too, brother.
All right.
VP of Entrepreneurial Development at Empire State Development Corporation here in New York. Has been developing entrepreneur programs for around AI for New York business people. Next, I have Mr. Ken Granderson. Ken is the founder and CTO of blackfacts.com. And if you haven't been there, go check it out because it is a wonderful repository of Black information. And as Black information has become a valued and sought after commodity, that's the place you want to go and get some of it.
So, Ken, it has not yet been erased. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, he's like, not on my watch.
Gotcha. All right.
Also, he's doing community AI awareness in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. You know, Brooklyn is our family across the pond, and it's bedstuy.ai. Go to that website if you're in Brooklyn. Check it out. They're doing things, and we want you to be there.
Night Watchman, why didn't you even tell me? Because I lost my son to Bed-Stuy, man. He's here now. But anyway, Ken, treat him nicely, Ken. Thank you.
All right.
Stefan Youngblood, founder of the Black AI think tank. He's involved in HBCU.ai. And he's I would say he's a leading voice in the conversation around AI and the Black community. So welcome, Stefan.
Very nice.
You're on mute, by the way.
Oh, I was just saying good to be here. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. There was a lady who put a X comment out yesterday. She said, I wish there were more Black people. I could see more Black people in AI. And here we go.
Right. So I think that's something that we will work on because we all need to be involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start by talking about the topic that brings up the most fear for people, and that's AI and job displacement.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're seeing that happen. I think I saw a stat that we lost 50,000 jobs in 2025 due to AI and automation. I have not vetted that statistic yet, so don't hold me to it. But I did. I read a lot of stuff, and sometimes I don't get it all down. But so I just want to kind of throw it around and just hear your thoughts about where it is and what we do about it.
Anyone jump in. Come on now.
Yeah, I'll jump in there. I think everything has changed. Everything is changing. And I wish I could say, well, this will definitely need you. Maybe plumbers, some construction and things. But we really need to start asking questions about how we can match what we do, our skill level, what we like to do, and where the future is going, where we can match those up. And there really isn't a textbook you can do with that, but we have a large language model, any of them. We can say, listen, here's who I am, here's my skills, education, and I want to be prepared up for where we're going in the future. You really probably need to work with AI on finding out how this will specifically apply to you. We have to do it yesterday. And lastly, we have to do it yesterday because your competitor has 25 skills that you don't have right now if we're just starting right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't want to go first. I'm glad. No, that Stefan said, what he did from a practical perspective, because, besides, in addition to agreeing with him, because this is an emotionally charged question, I say to people, it absolutely will, replace jobs. That's what all technologies do. None of us were around for the advent of the wheel, but that probably put dudes who drag stuff on the ground out of work. How many jobs, how many industries has this put out of business? That is the nature of technology. That's the purpose of technology. It replaces old ways of doing things with new things. So if we understand that and, recognize that it is here to stay. I'm glad Stefan said that, your competitors and whatever you're doing are going to be using it. So the choices, and this is a conversation that I have had for 30 years. Because 30 years ago, I was trying to get folks to start paying attention to this, quote, new thing called the internet. So you do not have the option of whether you're going to deal with it or not. Your options are either learn how to work with it or become obsolete. Oh, the third option. I hear the nice folks, but I don't know any Amish, but you can join the Amish because that's what it comes down to. I just keep it real. We love some people sugarcoat things, but at the end of the day, other than you, your family, politicians, when it's election time, and job programs, no one cares about your job. Nobody does. Companies care about making more money or reducing costs. And so, I deal with the real world, which doesn't do me no favors. So, I think I double underscore everything he said and more. The good news though is there's no boundaries whatsoever. You don't even need to have technical knowledge anymore to use this technology, unlike 30 years ago. So our future is literally in the palm of our hands more than ever.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. And you know what? I'm thinking in my head now, Earl, I know that you do the entrepreneurial assistance centers throughout the state, right?
Yeah.
And I heard you talking about a component related to AI that's coming to New York or Chinatown. Do tell.
Yeah, New York State. But let me just back up because I love what Stefan said. Like, both of you guys are obviously correct. And I think being in the entrepreneur space, for me, in terms of helping entrepreneurs, is really special because I think there's going to be a lot more entrepreneurs. All right. So if you have the entrepreneur hat, like Stefan said, this is the time to learn these new skills, right? To upskill, to really, it's kind of humbling. But even if you have degrees, even if you already have a title, like I'm a VP, I'm still studying every day. Like, I just got a notification about the new OpenAI model that just dropped. Like, I'm on top because I know we have to keep learning and keep humbling ourselves to be able to say, let me go through this learning curve and keep up with this fast pace because everything is changing. And most people will have to become entrepreneurs because the workspace is going to adjust, is going to want to save money. And so if you're not somebody who's actually taking the time to learn, you're going to get left behind. I think it's really incumbent on us to be that real, right? We have to raise the alarm because it is this small window. Because once everybody's on the same page in terms of understanding the opportunity, the people who do take advantage of it, they're going to take the markets. And where the person of color, you can compete with large corporations if you actually put, just get down and learn and say, let me grind for this period of time. Personally, my wife is a lawyer. I'm telling her, hey, y'all not safe. We got to keep learning. I know in my role, I'm like, hey, let me make sure that I know as much as possible, because even as we create programs, we need to understand these tools to be able to say, all right, these are the useful things that entrepreneurs can actually leverage. And so to get to your point, Curtis, we did that over the last year and a half or so, created a program called Entrepreneur AI Technical Assistance. And that was because the governor had an initiative called Empire AI and really wanted to make sure that we were at the forefront of, creating these programs that help people. And my particular team was able to focus on entrepreneurs. And that's going to be an entrepreneurship assistance center that helps entrepreneurs. They're called Welcome to Chinatown. They're in Chinatown. They have a great hub there. And it's going to be statewide, excuse me. So people do things via Zoom, but it's really sitting with the entrepreneur and say, hey, what is your specific business? What is your specific idea? How do we map out that workflow? And where can you actually leverage AI to save you time and money? So I think that's really special. I think we need to have that hand-holding experience because people still have that fear. People don't know exactly where to look at. It's so many different tools. And so we created that program. It's launched now, but it's going to be stood up officially probably in Q2.
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Night Watchman, did you know about that, man?
Yes, I did. What do you think? Why you think you're here?
I knew you were going to come back. Go ahead. What you got, Night Watchman?
All right. So we talked a little bit about the the job displacement thing, but let's talk about the other side. And I think we've all alluded to it, which is now the opportunity for business creation and really life creation, because this technology is democratizing intelligence and knowledge and really unlocking knowledge in a way. It's not just the knowledge of the technical knowledge in order to do things now, which Ken talked about, is that you don't have to learn code to do this. You just have to learn how to talk to the system, and it will work with you to build things and build them very quickly. So I want to go with that. I want to go first with Stefan, because he mentioned that he built this site in Lovable. So tell us a little bit about your foray into basically web building.
Yeah, I was doing Wix and what are these things called? WordPress and things like that for many years now. And a lot of us, we were putting together WordPress type sites, or we'd hire one of these Fiverr or something to do it. But I can sit here and speak something into existence. I don't code. I don't do that part of it, but I've never been at a place before, or none of us have, where we can just put a prompt in and watch an app go to the app store the next day, period. Where we can do a web app or a website or a platform, and we can do it. So it's almost just thinking brightly about what we want and saying, hey, here's a simple one. Watch this. Hey, AI, I don't even know how to say this prompt, but where I want to get to is I'm trying to make this tool that can be good. It'll be used for seniors who don't know anything about AI or technology. And I just want to build a little site for them. But I'm trying to articulate the prompt and think of some features. This thing will literally say, okay, say enough. Let's do this. It will help you. It will articulate the prompt for you. And then you iterate with it, grab it, copy and paste, and you have a website, period. So
wow.
Yeah, it's that. I mean, I could do it while we're sitting on call here, but that's the world that we're in now. And we were going from, kind of crappy sites, but now if your prompt is a good prompt and you just have a little skill in this, and by skill today, I mean a week. That's the world we're in. So yeah, you can do some amazing things. And you look at something like HBCU.ai right there, or HBCU agents, and these are vibe coded. And vibe coded January 26th last year. Some guy, he basically put a name on this style of talking to a computer in whatever vibe, and it's going to code something for you when you don't code. So just know, we can all do it. So I'm sure the other guys will tell you about that too.
Wow.
Right. Well, oh no, go on. Sorry, Earl. Or?
Go
ahead, Ken.
Okay. Yeah. Well, again, total non-violent agreement. But I'll speak from the other side of things, where I have been writing code since 1991, building complex systems, and I've been using AI coding tools for 3 years now. I built, systems like a custom learning management system, up in Massachusetts that trains addiction recovery coaches, and it actually is on top of WordPress, but it's like all custom code in the language that WordPress uses, PHP. I've never cracked a PHP book, looked at a video or whatever. Now, the fact that I have deep knowledge and insight and expertise in coding is critical in that I can correct it when it's wrong. Because it does make mistakes, etc. But I'm right now, I've got a couple of machines doing things where, architecture from the databases to, API layers to the front ends. And I tell people I hardly touch my keyboard at all.
Wow.
Just in general, I've always been a Windows user, so it's Windows key H on Mac, probably Command H, turns on speech recognition. And I just tell it what I need it to do. I have it developed. So now, not the final products, but it gets me way past that 80%.
Wow.
Let's hear from Earl. How are you using the technology?
Yeah, first of all, I'm glad I went after you, Ken, because it's a great packaging. Because while I was actually working in Harlem, I saw this wave coming when GPT-3 dropped, and I said, you know what, I want to learn the fundamentals of coding while I'm actually seeing the AI get smarter. So I actually took a coding course and became a full stack developer.
Wow.
And Ken is right. There are levels even at this level, right, where you have access and it's democratized. If you do have that deeper understanding, it is even better when you're using these tools. And the cheat code is that while I was learning, I was using AI to learn faster. So I got really good at all the different elements of how to run a software platform or app while I was actually learning how to use AI and becoming a good prompt engineer and understanding the tools. And so we're at a space where I know we're going to talk about it later, but like as our students are growing, if they kind of could do both, where they kind of understand enough where it's like, if it does mess up, to Ken's point, I can actually adjust it while also leveraging the tools, they're going to be 1,000 times smarter than us. And they're going to be leveraging these properly, because that's where I'm at. Like I think both Ken and Stefan are building things. I've built something while being a senior leader at a state agency that I'm dropping soon too, right? So it's like we all have that capability where it remodels how we do things in our 9 to 5 and how much we could do in a day, Like you can have a stressful job and then go home and build something that brings real value in the same day and have it out in the world in the same week. And so that changes the dynamics of how we live. That changes, what we can actually do with the things we have in our head. Like you go from, vision to actually putting it out there really quick now. And I think that is the beautiful thing about the opportunity, because Tech NYC says something I think I should say here. We'll have an opportunity to learn the art of the possible. And especially for the Black community, we have all these ideas, but don't always have that technical prowess or access to create it. But now we do. And so if you know the art of the possible by just going through that learning curve and seeing all these tools and things that can happen, we're going to take it and run with it and create 1,000 different things. And now being smarter can own that, trademark that, copyright the right things, and then really see what that does for our community. So I'm excited, man, if you can't hear it already.
Absolutely.
What I wanted to kind of follow up on that, because I also have an app that I'm dropping soon.
Excuse me, can I just make a friendly amendment on that?
Sure.
Because I think we were talking about, what can we do with it? And we were talking about, technical things. I also use it for everything.
Right.
I'm, caregiver for my mom, had to help me out with a whole bunch of things. My MO for ideation, etc., is, I often will start with, my voice recorder. I'll be walking around, going to the food stop, whatever. And I just, from stream of consciousness, I record, what I'm doing. I'll transcribe that and drop it into an AI tool, or I may use the AI tool, but I find with the recorder, I can talk. You see, I can talk, right? Now, I might talk for 20 minutes and I'm just brainstorming. I'm just going down this path and back up, drop that whole thing until AI, you figure it out. You organize whether I need a document, whether I need a presentation, whatever, so let's not just think that it's tech that makes tech. It's tech, general purpose tech, and as my man would say, as Black folks, I have a saying, Yoda, don't sue me. No, not Yoda. That would be Darth Vader, which would be worse, right? I think. The hustle is strong with us. So once we get it, we go to the top.
Yes.
Wow.
Can I add one little thing on top of that really quick?
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, Miles. Listen, hey, Miles. So we're sitting here talking about how we as the Black community can start to embrace tech more and really use AI. Give me a really quick example of how some of us can just get started in the game of AI. And they probably don't know that you are AI. So introduce yourself really quick.
Stefan, we can't hear it on our end.
Oh, are you serious? 1 second.
Okay. Yo,
you know what's so messed up about that? When I'm on StreamYard, you can't do it on here, but the ones you can. Okay, that's not. Just know if you go to the word Sesame, that's the website, sesame.com, and you can literally do exactly what he was saying was just talk to it. Let me see. It's on your phone too, and it's free. That's what makes this thing kind of crazy to deal with. All right, let's see. Hey, Miles. Oh, even the phone's not loud enough. All right, we'll do that later. Just know it's
Gotcha.
I can attest to the fact Miles scares me actually.
So you already know. You should be doing. Okay, you got it.
I didn't set. I could do it. I didn't set my mixer up this morning because I was out late. Anyway, but next time, Stefan, I'll have a way figured out to do that. I think that is an important demo because Miles sounds like somebody we know. Miles sounds like a brother. Literally sounds like a brother who's intelligent, but he sounds like us, and he's talking, and he's very conversational. So you can check it out, sesame.ai, but it gives you a feeling for where the AI is. For myself, and it's also interesting because we're kind of delving into what are different styles of operating with it. I have resisted using the voice command, number one, because I think sometimes just going through the keyboard, it helps myself slow down and organize. But I recognize it. My chief of staff here at What's Next Solutions, she loves to talk to ChatGPT and she has a relationship with it. Wow. And when I talk to Miles, I'm scared because I don't want to develop a friendship with the AI. Because I know underneath it is still all programming, I caution that we have to jump in and use these things. So there's no right or wrong. I'm just telling you my way, and I might be a little bit cautious, but that's from my point of view. But we have a great panel with vast different experiences, but there's a lot of common denominators in it. So I want to go back and ask you guys, starting with Earl, what's your stack? How do you like to interact? And what are your three main LLMs that you use? If you use three, I mean, I use Gemini, I use ChatGPT, and I use Claude. And I've been migrating into Claude Code and Claude Cowork and some of the various newer iterations of Claude. I have not yet experimented with OpenClaw. I'm not ready for that, but I'm probably going to get ready for that. So let me start with Earl, because Earl is kind of he's the youngster in the crowd, but he's our promising
That's right.
So I definitely try all of them, but I think I'm now at a point where I'm using the wrapper software. So a lot of software now, like Cursor, like Figma. These platforms allow you to use all the different models. You can switch between them, or they have an an auto version where it chooses the best model that you can use for what you want to do. So what I'm creating on the technical side, and I'll break that up for the personal use like Ken did. But basically, just Cursor, Figma, and Superbase. So Figma allows you through their tool, Figma Make, similar to Lovable, to design websites and now even host it via Figma. But then you can adjust it using using language models, or natural language. Cursor is the integrated developer environment that allows you to build out the actual code as well. Now, Figma gives you the code. You can take that to Cursor, and not to get too technical, but basically you start building out things at the core level through the terminal, and then it really gives you that ownership beyond just like another platform. And then Supabase, and I think Ken talked about it before, but like that back end work, that's still important when you really start to build out real products. And so Supabase leverages AI to help you with the back end, meaning your database, right? The database. So you can leverage like natural language to help you manage all the data and all the different tables you need. And so if you really want to get deep into it, those three things I think are useful to just create real products that can go to the App Store and you can manage them really well. On a personal side, I stick with ChatGPT the most because it has all my information. You can transfer it to Claude if you want to. But both me and my wife have the $70 subscription. So the new feature is really early, and it is really scary how over time it knows you really well. But we're mindful that we don't want it to be so. We don't want to be so dependent. Like my mom, who actually uses these tools, and just the other day said she is her best friend. And
wow.
She's joking. And I'm proud of her for learning, but I also know there's a hint of seriousness of like, hey, this thing knows me the best. And once we get to that point, especially for the younger generation, it's going to be scary. But I'm getting long-winded, but those are my tools. And I'm really mainly sticking with ChatGPT right now for the personal side.
So I also want to bring up, it made me think about what's going on in the news over the last week. So short version, Anthropic, who has been a government contractor for AI and quietly doing a lot of the stuff in terms of, I believe they had Anthropic technology when they went into Venezuela. But the U.S. government basically gave them an ultimatum. We want to use your technology for autonomous weapons, aka Skynet, and mass surveillance of the U.S. population. And Anthropic was said, no, that's a road too far. We're not willing to go that. They gave them a 5 o'clock deadline. They said no. They immediately said, you're no longer going to have this contract. They were threatening to, put them on I can't remember the terminology, but basically ban them.
Yeah, enemies watch list, basically.
But here's the trick now. So OpenAI comes in literally right afterwards, accepts the contract that Anthropic was. It's a dog-eat-dog world at the top there. And but can we trust OpenAI now? Because basically OpenAI says that they didn't agree to those things. But it could have been like, is OpenAI going to support mass surveillance of the U.S. Citizens based on what we say? Because that's what we're talking about. These tools now at a point where, in the hands of the government, they can be weaponized. So we need to think about that as we have our interactions. And I'm not saying don't use ChatGPT, but think about what you're using it for. So let's see, Stefan, I wanted to go back to you and ask you about your tech stack.
Yeah, tech stack. I mean, I love everybody ChatGPT because it can do so much. And then I like Perplexity because it cites all the sources of where your information came from. And I do like DeepSeek. DeepSeek is free, and I find that it can do some amazing things. Also, one called Notebook LM is put out by Google. It's free. Y'all, you can literally take everything that you have and just dump it into one spot. And the thing that it's really good about is it's not using somebody else's language model. You're actually building the framework only built on the information that you put in it. And it can do anything from PowerPoint, spreadsheets, podcasts. I mean, just all types of things that it can do in that. So it's Notebook LM is a great tool. And Claude, I use all the time. And for vibe coding, I'm switching between several of them now because new ones are coming out. And I'll just tell you right now, overnight, literally over the past few days, these young people have figured out how to get these things working. Their version is in your sleep. Wow. And so they're doing these websites that, just go to sleep. app will tell you, go to sleep, Stefan, I'll have it when you get up. And it does have your stuff it's unreal. What I've seen recently, there's no words for it. And just know whatever we think we might be going, and then we might get to that. Where we're really going is way out there. I was having a conversation.
Let's tackle it together.
Listen, I was having a conversation with a gentleman. He's a professor out of Oxford. He wrote a book called Superintelligence, and then he wrote Deep Utopia. And in one of our first talks, I said, so who's really running this stuff right now? Because what we've always been told is the government 20 years behind us, beyond us, and all that stuff. He said, oh, no. This is Silicon Valley right now. All of the money is in Silicon Valley. And he told me this 2 years ago. And he said, so the government's going to them. And that's what's happening right now. They got so many trillions of dollars being pumped into all of them. NVIDIA, that, they can make whatever they want, and they can pay the highest salaries to get people into those things. But this is only the beginning. This thing with Anthropic trying to hold up their principle that we're not going to get involved with some things that would be mass surveillance. This is going to keep on for a while. And like you said, it's a dog-eat-dog world. So expect another one besides OpenAI and Claude to jump in it. So we'll see this happening a lot. And y'all, this is weapons. They're talking about, these like Silicon Valley people giving them the ability to make weapons to kill people and to surveil people. So it's a lot that's happening there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Myself, I use a lot of the same tools. I try to go between Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude regularly because I just like to see the output from them so I can really have a better sense of which one works best for which situation. I also love Notebook LM. It is for just producing things quickly, like infographics and all those things. I'm going to leave us in what I call the Hollywood Squares format because I want us to also jump in. I want this conversation to be more, lateral. But yeah, so I use it. I did some stuff. I'm with Harlem Emergency Network, and we were doing a lot of alerts during the blizzard. And, I would be on a Zoom with New York City emergency management and getting an update. And I could literally punch it into Notebook LM, create an infographic while I'm on the call and have it up on Facebook. So, when it comes to like doing slideshows, doing audio overviews, which is it's basically the equivalent of a podcast with AI hosts. There's a whole toolkit in Notebook LM that they've developed that is very, very interesting. And the other thing we're also seeing with Claude is that they're developing a whole toolkit of skills and ways to connect your own computer where you're giving it access to the AI, but you're not necessarily having all of your data upload to the cloud. So you're able to keep a lot of your context close at hand. And I think that's one of the reasons why Claude has come up to be, a serious contender when it comes to the top LLMs. A lot of people have not noticed this because ChatGPT ran out in front and got a bunch of subscriptions that I would call consumer AI. But when it comes to the enterprise AI, Anthropic is actually dominating that race and has surpassed ChatGPT in the enterprise space. And I think part of it is that their model gives companies more control on their data than just throwing it willy-nilly to one of these LLMs. So,
Ken, what, Night Watchman, I want, for those who may not know and be in that space, LLM stands for?
Large language model. So, it's also, there's sometimes, it's actually progressed beyond that because now they're what they're calling multimodal, whereas ChatGPT, when it first came in, is strictly a chat interface. But now it's able to look at videos and listen to sound and and actually give you feedback on your video, on your image, on your sound. So the capacity has gone way beyond just talking in text, which was where it started. So I think it's outgrown its own name at this point in time. So I think people are calling them more like the frontier AI models, because ultimately the top three are what's powering all the other ones. But as Earl mentioned, there's this another category of companies that are saying, why be stuck with one? We can plug and play to all of them, and you have more control, because ultimately now we're seeing that this one is good at that, but not good at that. This one is good at that. And they're always racing to, it's like every 3 weeks, there's another model out. And then behind that, 5 minutes later, so there's an arms race. And that's also part of the problem we're dealing with, because this arms race in the real world comes down to this drive to build these huge data centers. And so we're not only sending basically large parts of the capital that runs our economy is going toward building data centers. It's going toward the amount of electricity that we generate as a society. We're starting to generate, putting more money into building the powering the data centers than we are for living. And then water. So these are major components of the economy that all these resources are now being dedicated toward data centers. And this is why we have to look at the politics, because these things.
we jump in.
Jump in.
Okay. On the stack thing, right? Actually, when you were talking about a voice thing, and Miles, I'm not sure which tool, but ChatGPT, has a voice thing where, hi, how are you?
Hey, yeah, that's me talking right now. It's just one of my features, so we can have a nice natural chat. How are you feeling about it so far?
There's a voice in there that actually sounds a little bit like a brother too. But on the stack of tools, speaking of Earl, where Earl talked about using Supabase, I use kind of conventional database tools, and often have existing data structures that have been up, for 10, 20 years. So what I do is I will basically take, for lack of a better term, take snapshots of those, drop those into the AI and say, I want you to optimize this. I want you to add this functionality. I want you to do that. I also use Cursor as sort of the main, one of the main, I use several different programming tools that you can pick the different products. Like, I don't even like using LLM because I'm very grassroots. Matt Watchman talking about enterprise. I've dabbled with enterprise, but I'm very grassroots, and so I don't even use LLM as a term because it's just 3 letters to most people. So like, which product, whose company's system are you using? As Earl said, pick which ones, because even when doing programming stuff, there's different tools that might be better or worse, for different things. To a large extent, use some of the same tools, but with Black Facts, we've got videos that we create, videos like Black History video for every day of the year, and we use something called Hey You, or Hey Jen, excuse me, that's translating the narratives, into other languages, as well as creating new videos, from scratch. And speaking to the multimodal, it's like, I talk to it, I drag and drop my documents, I take pictures, hey, what is this? How does this work? And what was I thinking on? So I'm using all those different tools in my quote stack. And thanks to tools like Cursor, because I've mostly stayed with ChatGPT because there are so many different products and they're always changing. And, it becomes a job to try to keep up with them. So in the club that I created, bed-sty.ai, it's a community AI learning club. And a sister who who I've worked with here and there, known for several years, who does video stuff. She's a big Notebook LM, fan. So rather than me spend a lot of time on that, we're going to do a workshop where she's going to show this is how she uses it. And I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Because there's a lot of tools out there, and I don't know about you, but I only got 28 hours in a day. Okay. So I prefer to connect with people who have been using these other tools and go deep in that. So I'm just a big fan of focusing on, whatever the Titans are doing, they're going to do. That's not necessarily real to me. What's real to me is what, puts bread on my table, and, and what my folks, my community can use. So, we're working towards creating a network where, where our expertise, is shared. So
yeah, can I hop in?
Yeah.
So, and I'm so proud to hear you say that. I'm from Bed-Stuy, so proud to hear you say that, man. And hey, Jen, they're not paying me to say this, but that's a dope platform to use, especially for training videos. So that's a good one to throw in there. But yeah, I think we're in a good space where it's like people like Ken, stuff and this entrepreneurial program, like if we leverage them properly, the communities that need to know about them can really leverage that knowledge and go to just building, right? Keeping up, to Ken's point, keeping up with the tools is overwhelming, even for me, and I got all the newsletters, all that stuff. It's like, I can't even keep up with it. But what we can do is get to a point we know enough and we can just start building, because they're going to keep growing. And as long as you kind of have the core function, like multimodal, right? If you know which one has great, chat, which one has great video, which one has great audio. So especially if you have one that has all in one, once you get to that point, just build what you're going to build. And, you can adjust the product that you're using to build them later, but just focus on actually getting into this new economy, because that's what's coming, a whole new economy where you can actually be a part of it in a real way. So don't get overwhelmed, for anybody watching. Don't get overwhelmed by trying to learn every little thing. Just get to a certain point of understanding and then build what you want to build.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, and just say that to ChatGPT. I'm trying to learn so-and-so, and even articulate it this way. Say, hey, ChatGPT, I'm not sure what it is that I don't know. So can you question me about my knowledge on LLMs or my knowledge on some of these new vibe coding apps? Just you find out where I am. So you sort of take the control for this. So I think you might have put it up there. When I heard Ken say he built an app when he was working at a place, I just wanted to show y'all how fast this is. I vibe coded an app in a one-shot prompt and had ChatGPT help, and it's a working website right now for and y'all, I don't code. I wouldn't even know what that stuff means, but if you hit around on this thing, you'll find a working website for helping coaches who are helping other people.
Oh, and you know what? Outside of the sort of the working, with the AI, I have a couple of sort of single-purpose tools for making presentation decks, beautiful.ai, and then for building websites, gamma.app.
Love Gamma. I love Gamma.
Nice. No, that's incredible. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you for doing it. I mean, but that just shows you how quickly this stuff is moving, that you can literally do things on the fly. And I want people who are listening to raise your vision about what you can do with these tools, because I think that's kind of there's an advantage to moving with AI right now, because it's moving so fast that you don't want to be the last one to realize, because by that time the playing field levels out. There's an opportunity right now to jump in, and the thing is that you have to rethink your assumptions about technology, because a lot of people's like, I'm not a technology person. I'm a writer. I'm an artist. I'm a manager. I like to organize. Well, whatever it is that you like to do, you want to focus on that and then ask yourself the question, how can this AI help me? Or better yet, don't ask us, ask the AI.
Right.
Ask the AI, you might be surprised at the answer. So, so I love what Ken said about the products. So my 3 core products I use for talking and strategizing are still going to be Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude. So when I built the app that I'm working on, I started by asking all 3 of them to develop a plan for me. And then I like the plan that I got from Claude best, and it worked out for me. So I basically took the information from Claude and said, Claude, I want to build this. And first of all, I asked which of the tools made sense for me relative to what I want to do. I settled on Lovable. Then I said, Claude, give me a plan to develop this in Lovable step by step. It gives me a plan. It's like 14 different prompts. But I said, that's the right one, because I go to one and get it straight. Don't try to do it all. And, one shot is a myth. People who are teasing you with vibe code will say, you can put it in a one shot and you'll get something, but you're going to get crap. Instead, develop the plan first. Learn how you're actually supposed to build software. You can learn that. You can be taught by the AI and get it done at the same time. Take a second, use the AI to develop a plan, and then execute the plan. And then if you run into problems, you can always come back to the AI and say, da-da-da-da-da. So, but the whole idea of being multimodal and trying these things out and finding what fits to you, if you find out right away, because ultimately it's not about any of these tools, it's about what you can do with it. And so that's what I was saying, raise your vision about it. And the best way to not worry about if you have a job is if you create a revenue stream from these things, and you don't have to have a job. And there are kids who are doing this stuff and they're killing it. But those of us who got a little gray hair, we have an advantage of context. We've been there. We have experience. We know things about the world. You got to take what you know about the world and then run it through this process. All right, I need to shut up. We're supposed to be I'm sorry.
I know we got to go soon, but I want to just say, because I'll be remiss if I didn't say this. Yeah. Because of everything we are saying, the playing field is going to be level, and the only difference will be folks who have a moat, right? Who have like some kind of special, significant difference. Is folks who are disciplined enough to actually build, like actually do the work, because we do know things have gotten easier generation by generation. It doesn't automatically mean that everybody's using the tools to benefit themselves. So the folks who are disciplined will win. The folks who have earned trust, especially if you already have it in this space, that will be a commodity. Like, people will draw to you better because the AI is going to take over everything. Everybody's going to start using AI. They're going to start using generated photos and videos. So if you actually have the ability to say, no, I'm already standing on what I'm doing. I've been doing it already. I've been in the game for a few years. And you could trust me, people will lean towards that naturally. And then the other piece, it was one more thing. Oh, distribution. I'm telling a lot of people I work with and that we're helping, start building out ownership of the community that supports you in a real way, right? So, having a business, generally, you should understand how to do that. But especially now, everybody's going to be able to copy whatever you create eventually. If you actually have the best distribution because you have that earned trust, you're going to get a step ahead. So as you're learning these tools, also figure out the strategy around how do I make sure that I have a funnel to my mailing list where I know people trust me. And so as I'm creating, I know this is my core community. I have data on them in a way where I can get to them directly, so that when the market gets to the place where it's going to get to where everybody can create anything, you still know, okay, these people trust me. My product can be sold to them. I can share the information towards them. And that's also another, workflow you got to build out, but use AI to help you do that too, because that's going to be necessary in this next phase of work.
Beautiful.
Well, Earl, I heard that you may have to leave us. So before you go, please, I want you to just lay out some things that we need to look out for. And if someone also wants to reach out to you, Earl, how they might do that. Do tell.
Of course. So my email for ESD is earl.thomason@esd.ny.gov. So feel free to email me. We have a team that can support in terms of like our programs beyond just the AI program. ESD has a lot of programs for entrepreneurs that people don't know about. We have the entrepreneurship assistance centers. We have a lot of capital access programs, a lot of money that we're trying to get to the community that folks just have no idea about. So, we just got somebody on our team to help us with that storytelling and content development so that we can actually create content that meets people where they are to share about these programs. We have a venture arm. When I learned about that, I'm like, man, why didn't I know about that? Like, we have a venture arm through the state that invests in high growth companies. And so if you have a tech company as you're building out these new tools using AI that can actually, be invested in by a VC, we also have that from the state side. So if you reach out to me, I can connect you with my team member, Dana Ochia. She's our ombuds person for the state. So she knows all the different projects and she can kind of filter out whatever you need based on what you tell her. And then I do want to highlight the Entrepreneurship Assistance Centers again. There are 26 throughout the whole state. We got a partnership with the Women's Chamber in Harlem out there. But Hofstra University is an EAC. We have some in North Country. So literally all over the state. And we're trying to make sure people know that they can go to those EAC centers or Entrepreneurship Assistance Centers to get the kind of assistance they deserve, because it's that tax dollars being paid to do it. So we have to be aware of that, because as you're going through these motions, trying to leverage AI, trying to start your business plan, understand marketing and getting the mailing list, you have something you're already paying for that can help you. So definitely reach out for more information about all of that.
Beautiful.
And Earl, before you go, I would like to invite you and anyone to join bedstuy.ai. It's a club. We had our first meeting last night. In addition to 3 neighborhoods locally, there was a sister who's been doing podcasts for like 6-7 years. Came in from Delaware. When you go there, there's 3 links. Please look at the 3 links. The what's coming. Is talking about how we're going to be documenting how we're going to be making a community AI club toolkit based on the quote eating your own dog food principle, and documenting how we build, because this is about giving our people a leg up towards taking advantage of this brave new world that's happening right now. So it's not just the neighborhood is what I'm trying to say. And we're going to be doing hybrid events at some point. So,
well, I can say right up front that I am looking forward to collaborating with you. I also have an event coming up on March the 20th, and I'm doing it in conjunction with Crypto Harlem. Matt Mitchell was supposed to be on the show today, but he's in Africa right now. But we're doing an event. Matt is a cybersecurity expert, and we're going to be teaching people, calling it Home Run, because it's a play on words, because you can run AI in your own home on your own open source AI. And so we're inviting people to sign up. You can bring your own machine. And so the workshop is free, but space is limited. So if you want to go to that QR code there on the screen, you can sign up for it. I'm going to turn the banner off so people can get the bottom of it. And I'm looking forward to collaborating with you, Ken, and seeing your toolkit, because Lord knows we need it. We're launching a Harlemverse Innovation Series, and we want to keep this information flowing in Harlem, just as we have, everywhere else. I gotta take this thing off the screen. So Earl, we're gonna let you go. Ken, I want to switch back to something that we didn't get a chance to talk about, which is education, because we talked about that that we're going to a period. We know about the attack on DEI, and we also know that you've been kind of in the space of educating online through blackfacts.com for I don't even know how long it goes back. How long have you been doing that site now?
1997. So Black Facts, and of course I'm wearing my Black Facts blackfacts.com. It's the internet's first Black history search engine. I've been running it since 1997. The ed tech version, Diversity Schoolhouse, has been in schools since 2023. We're in 14 states right now, and we actually use generative AI to build teacher tools. From quizzes, talking points, because a lot of teachers don't know anyone except Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, and classroom exercises, etc. Also, many people are not aware, but if you're in New York City, the Department of Education has a citywide Black Studies curriculum. It goes from K to 12th grade, The city spent 3 years and $27 million, and they delivered it as a 520-page Acrobat file.
Wow.
Which
wow.
is not necessarily, an easy task for teachers to consume. So we're building an AI front end on top of it. And if you go to blackfacts.nyc, there's it's just like sort of a brochure but there's a, hey, I'm interested, because we're building an AI powered front end that will let the teachers teach, drive from their phone and broadcast on the smart board, whatever.
And Ken, I'm wondering, I'm making the assumption that you are also a DOE approved vendor, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Nice, excellent. All right.
And yeah. Oh, and also the third leg of the stool, so to say, project we want to get out by the end of the year. We call Black Facts for Families. So imagine streaming Black history, into your living room, regardless of what Elon Musk or Donald Trump wants to say. And I say it that way because, as someone who's always owned and controlled my own tech, my entire experience with technology is not, while other folks are like, oh, what are these, big players doing? I'm like, yo, as long as I keep my electricity on, my internet, I'm good.
Well said. And Night Watchman, can you say lightning round?
Absolutely. So we're just going to go back and forth with you guys to just give some final comments, give where you can be reached. So we'll start with you, Stefan.
You can. The easiest one to reach me at aistefan.com, and I'm heavily into us owning digital real estate, so people can find you in the simplest way possible. So aistefan.com. If you have a name you can do that with, literally pay $8 for it. Every single Thursday night, I'm working with a group doing a class called Black AI Think Tank, 7 o'clock, Zoom, and we even do it Zoom. It's just audio. That's 7 o'clock every Thursday. And follow me on LinkedIn for the free link to that. And we have a large upcoming event that's the week before Juneteenth. That's the National Black AI Literacy Week. This will be our third year doing it. And I do consultations all the time to help people into this world of AI. It's very simple to find, chatbuilt.com. Chatbuilt, like, man, my chat helped me to build this. Chatbuilt.com. You can get me there. We're building a product that's helping people take what we say and end up building. And the last one is idea to assets. And we're showing people using AI how to do just that. So it's idea-to-assets.com again, and helping people to get started. But then don't just build something, finish it, and then get paid for it. That's where we're going. Building is one thing. So you got a bunch of stuff built, but it's actually finishing and selling that or selling your services.
Beautiful. And Stefan, please, because I know you're in North Shakalaka. So when you come up north here to New York, you contact the Night Watchman and me.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Next, Ken, what's going on? I want you to focus. Broadcast the future, man. Talk to me.
Broadcast the future. Oh no, that's never safe. I'm gonna punk out on that and answer the how do folks find you kind of thing. And
cool.
I say the easiest way. I tell people Google my name. I've been, one of the things you will find is my video called Unapologetically Black Technology. 3.5-minute video that touches on 30 years, right? So many of the things that folks are talking about, like, oh, this, the issues, the changes, the opportunities, that has been the space I've been in for 30 years, wow. Since I was in a basement apartment in Boston, but I'm doing business with about 12 countries. Right now, I still manage the official website of the government of St. Lucia that I built by myself in 2014. But 30 years ago, we were putting Boston's Roxbury community online at roxbury.com. I was trying to launch a professional and social connection site at blackpeople.com. Yes, I still own the domain, in 1999.
Wait, you own blackpeople.com?
Yes, sir. I own a bunch. Black That's people, Black folks. But yeah. So yes. So own a bunch of things. When I say Google my name, though, it's because you'll see pages of results that speak to what I consider what could have been if groups like the Million Man March Local Organizing Committee, the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, had understood what we were trying to do when we were trying to connect them and put them online. I have receipts for everything I've done. My personal website, KenGranderson.com, I got over 200 articles, interviews, whatever, because I have been just unapologetically and unabashedly forward with us taking advantage of opportunity. And I'm actually very frustrated because, saying that when it came out meant the future, but now we're still doing it like it's 1999 with so much, where this technology is literally in the palm of our hands today, and we're still hardly using it. So, my phone number's on the website. That's an exercise for anyone who wants to find me.
You're ready.
Get at him, and thank you for all you've been doing. So let's see. Before I go, I want to just put up these sites that Stefan has built. Check them out, ideatoassets.com and chatbuilt.com. I also want to remind you that we are doing an event, and I think I mentioned it before, which is Harlemverse with Crypto Harlem, Friday, March 20th. Run your own open source. You got to register. I'm also going to put up the URL that you can go to register it. It is that's supposed to say .ly. My fingers aren't working this morning, but home run dash crypto Harlem. I'm sorry, the .com. I totally messed that thing up. Hold on. Let me do a quick correction, and I'm gonna take some of this stuff out in the edit, but I want to make sure that people actually get there and they can register properly. So,
Bob, while you're doing that, I did want to. No, I was just going to mention there's an HBCU conference down in Austin, Texas next week. It's the 10th and the 11th. It's called HBCU AICon. So I'll be down there and speaking at that. Last year I was at it. It brings in a whole lot of HBCU schools, but this is specifically helping to put us ahead when it comes to AI. Not behind, not just learning it, but having HBCUs actually lead the way. So it's HBCUAICon.com. Yeah, it's not too late to register. Y'all, it's an incredible bunch of people that are getting together for this, and a whole lot of HBCU schools.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So, Curtis, what is the thing that we have to say about our guests today?
Oh, my God. Okay. Yes, I believe that they will be invited back to the cookout.
There we go. Absolutely.
Okay. But, gentlemen, no raisins in the potato salad, okay?
Well, since you mentioned that, we don't have time for today. Maybe we'll touch on it, but Night Watchman mentioned the whole, power thing, right? So
if I come back to that, this is the first, but it's definitely not the last.
That's no, I know. Since you mentioned the cookout, if you invite me to the cookout, please have vegetarian options, because I've been a vegetarian for 30 years. And I say that because meat production, about 14% greenhouse gases. Data centers, less than 1%.
Wow.
Okay, all right, okay.
We got you. We hear you.
Those aren't just black facts, okay? All right. Thank you for a great show. You've been listening to Soul Lounge Primetime on WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. Also live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. You can always find us on Mondays, 5 o'clock on the radio and on WHCR.org. And 8 p.m. we're live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Earl. And thank you, Stefan. And thank you also, DJ LeRoy, a.k.a. Curtis Archer.
Yes, brothers, on another chat.